Good evening, student. My name is Olga Stolbovskaya. I'm a teacher of anatomy. I'm going to tell you about human anatomy. The anatomy course includes 18 lectures. Today, topic of lecture, Introduction to Human Anatomy. Plan of the lecture 1. First questions, the science of human anatomy. Second question, the structure of the human body. And the third question, anatomical terminology. The science of human anatomy is the study of the form and the structure of human body and the development of this structure in relation to its function and external environment. The term anatomy comes from the ancient Greek words anatemenein. This is dissect and dismember. This is explained by the fact that the first and main method of human research was the method is dismemberment of corpses. The old descriptive anatomy, how the body is built, to modern anatomy, how the organism is formed. To answer this question, it's necessary to investigate both internal and external relationship of the organism. Branches of anatomical science. Next, normal anatomy. Anatomy is that studies the normal healthy organism. Pathological anatomy, it is anatomy that studies the sick organism and the morbid changes in its organs. Topographic anatomy that studies the spatial relationships of the organs in different body regions. Next, sport anatomy studies the structure of the organism of the individuals engaged in sport and the effect produced on the body's structure by various sports. This is plastic anatomy. Anatomy for artists and sculptors studies only the external forms and proportion of the body. The types of anatomy indicated above differ in their approach to the study of the human body, which may be conducted on the cadaver or on the living person. All these branches of anatomical science are different aspects of the single human anatomy. the significance anatomy. Anatomy along this physiology is the basis of the theoretical and practical medicine. Science accurate knowledge of the shape and structure of the human body is an indispensable condition for understanding the vital function of healthy and sick organism, and creating correct ideas about the causes of diseases, without which it's impossible to carry out prevention and treatment. Poorly knowing the structure of the human body, the doctor, instead of benefit, can harm the patient. What is why, before you begin to comprehend the clinical disciplines, it's necessary to study anatomy. Anatomy and physiology and the foundation of medical education, medical science. There are two principal methods of anatomical study. It is examination of a cadaver and examination of a living human being. This examination of the cadaver by opening the body cavities and dissecting the organs and organs and tissue with surgical instruments. The science of anatomy derives its name from this procedure of dissecting the whole cadaver into part. For example, plastinated preparation, frontal cut of the upper limb. This is muscles and bone. This is bone, muscles, and other. For example, cadaver of the body and of the body of the. This is of the human preparate. What you see, this is man. This is cadaver of man. Next method of anatomical study, the examination of a living human being. Every physician begins examination of a patient with this procedure, which includes palpation, palpation, various measurement of the body, and endoscopy, examination of hollow organs through the natural body orifice. X-ray provides the best possibilities for studying living anatomy. They open the internal organ of the living human without a knife of pain and make it possible to observe the structure of the organs of the single individual throughout the course of his life. X-ray are used for making X-ray photograph and for visualization of the special screen. Computer tomography produces an image of all organs in a single plane of body tissue. For example, X-ray, computed tomography, magnetic resonance imaging. What you see this method, X-ray method, and you see a skeleton, and this is of skeleton. This is skeleton. You see clavicula. What you see clavicula? Clavicle with help X-ray method. Acromion. Acromion. This is acromion. This is caput humeri. This is caput humeri and other. This is spina scapula. You see spina scapula. This is ribs. This is column chirurgicum humeri. This is column chirurgicum humeri. I tell with help Latin language. X-ray computed tomography. What you see, this is X-ray computed tomography. You see brain located in cranium. This is for example, cerebelli, mesencephalon, metacephalon, and other. So, do you see? This is cranium and brain. Next question. This is the structure of the human organism. The structure of human organism is studied at different levels. This is first levels, at the levels of systems and organs, with the naked eye macroscopic anatomy, with the microscopic anatomy. At the level of the tissue, this is histology. This is study with a light microscopes. At the cellular, this is cellular levels. This is cytology with a light and electron microscopes. At the cellular level, cytology with light and electron microscopy. At the molecular level with electron microscopes by means of cytohistochemical reaction. This is anatomy, histology, and cytology, and embryology constitute the general science of the form, structure, and development of the organism, which is called morphology. Organism is the form of unity of protein bodies capable of exchanging substance with the environment of growing and multiplying. The organism is historically formed integral, continuously changing system with a specific structure and developmental pattern. The organism lives only under defined environmental conditions to which it's adapted and beyond which it cannot exist. With the cessation of exchange, life also ceases. The organism is built of separate individual structures, organs, tissue, and tissue components united into whole. tissue. Tissues are historically formed individual system of the organism. They are composed of cell and their derivatives and possesses specific morphology, physiological, and biochemical properties. Each tissue is characterized by development from defined embryonal bud in ontogenesis. Tissue are formed morphologically of cells and intercellular substance. Groups of tissue. Tissue they divided on next groups. This is first group epithelium, and the second group is the connective tissue or the internal environment. This is next groups the muscular tissue and muscular tissue and neural tissue. And then the epithelium tissue are located on surface. This is bordering the external environment and forms the lining of the hollow organs and closed cavity of the body. The complexes of epithelium cells form glands, glandular epithelium. The main functions of epithelium are tegumentary and secretory. What you see, squamosous epithelium, cuboidal epithelium. This is form walls of capillaries and air sacs, and lining of ducts in gland. What you see, gland. This is skin. This is columnar epithelium with cilia. This is, you see, cilia. This is stratified squamosous epithelium. This is next the connective tissue. These tissue are isolated from the external environment. The connective tissue are divided into tissue types: fibrous connective tissue, loose connective tissue, elastic fibrous connective, and skeletal tissue, cartilaginous and bone, is the blood and lymph. For example, you see fibrous connective tissue, smooth and loose connective tissue. You see elastic fibrous connective tissue. You see elastic. This is loose connective. Fibrilla. This is cell, many cells. This is fiber, many fiber, thin, thick. What do you see? Located under the epithelium of skin, for example. Next, skeletal tissue. Это cartilaginous and bone. То есть you see pictures. This is bone. What you see, bone cells. You see lacuna. This is you see bone tissue. Next, the blood tissue. This you see cell of blood, lymphocyte. This is basophil, neutrophil, eosinophil, and monocyte. This is platelet, erythrocytes. This is a cell of blood. Next, muscular tissue. The muscular tissue or contractile tissue are grouped together according to the functional property. The ability to contact, you see, form contact. The muscular tissue are divided into three types. First, the smooth, unstriated muscular tissue contract slowly and consist of a spindle-shaped cell containing fine microfilament. You see microfilament. You see a nucleus of muscle cell. This is, you see what smooth muscle, smooth food, urine and reproductive tract secretion, controls diameter of the respiratory passageway and regulate diameter of blood vessels. This is smooth muscle cells. Next, the somatic muscular tissue consists of long fiber, measuring only 10-15 micrometer in diameter. What do you see? My diameter. The fibrils also contain specific element and form a cross striated myofibrils possessing in turn a submicroscopic structure. What you see, skeletal muscles move or stabilize the position of the skeleton toward entrances and exist to the digestive, respiratory, and urinary tract, generate heat, and protect internal organs. What you see, somatic muscular tissue, with muscular muscles fiber. This you see nucleus. This is striatation. The muscular tissue of heart is made up separate cell, not heart, separate cells containing cross striated fibrils differing in some details in their structure from the fibrils of the skeletal muscular fiber. What you see, cardiac muscle cells and nucleus and intercalated discs. What you see, discs. Cardiac muscles moves blood and maintains blood pressure. What you see, muscular tissue of heart. Next, neural tissue. The neural tissue are made up of nerve cells and auxiliary elements, neuroglia, or in short glia. What you see, cells, it is neuron. What a neuron. And this is between neuron located in other cells that are neuroglial cells. Nerve cells are supplied with processes of the two types. Dendrites, what you see, dendrites, they convey the stimulus from perceiving apparatus to the body of the cell and form branch. Neurite axon. The axon conveys the nerve impulse from body of the cell to the effector cells, which exert of the effect. What do you see? Cell body, axon, this dendrite, this is nucleus. It is contact with other cells, form synapses. This is neuroglia, это supporting cell. Together form neural tissue. The axon may be covered with a myelin sheath of the special cells of the neuroglia, and nerve cells with all its processes enter there, and branches is called neuron. Next question, organs. In organs, Greek organon, it is tool, instrument, is the part of the human body that serves as an instrument for the adaptation of the organism to the environment. An organ is a part of a single whole and cannot exist outside the organism. An organ is a relatively integral structure which has a defined inherent only in it form, structure, function, development, and position in the organism. An organ is a relatively integral structure which has a defined, inherent, only in it form, structure, function, development, and position in the organism. What you see? Body, human body. You see located next organ, heart. This is blood cells, this eye, nose, this is intestine, this is hippa, and other. This is muscles. The heart, this is formed cardiac muscular tissue, the connective tissue, the element of nervous system, endothelium, and unstriated muscles, fiber, vessels. What you see, this is structure of heart. The cardiac muscular tissue prevails and is exactly its property that determines the structure and function of the heart as an organ of contraction. What you see, structure, anatomical structure of heart, of human heart. System of the organ is a collection of homogeneous organs made by a common structure, function, and development. It's a morphological and functional assemblage of organs, organs which have a common plans of structure and a common origin and which are connected with each other anatomically and topographically. Some organ and system of organs differing in structure and development may be united for the performance of a common function. Such functional collection of heterogeneous organs are called an apparatus. This is a system and apparatus of the organ. The bone system, for instance, is a set of bones with common structure, function, and development. This is bone system. The apparatus of movement includes the bone system and articulations of bones and the muscular system. This is bone, this is articulation of bones and muscular system and muscular system. System of organs and apparatus. This is digestive system, respiratory system, urinary system, reproductive system, cardiovascular system, nervous system, system of sensory organs, endocrine apparatus, and motor apparatus. This is 9 system human system. 9 human system. For example, digestive system. This system is incorporated nutrients and excrete from the body waste substance. What you see, mouth, teeth, tongue. This is esophagus. This is stomach and others. This is intestine. The small intestine, large intestine, and appendix and rectum and anus. And glands of digestive system, you see this is salivary gland and liver and pancreas. This digestive system. Respiratory system. This system is incorporated oxygen and excrete from body waste substance. What you see, respiratory system include this is right and left lung. This is, you see, trachea. This is pharynx, nasal cavity, nostril, oral cavity. This is the respiratory system. Urinary system. This system excrete from the body urina and waste substance. Note you see this is kidney, this is urethra, this is bladder, this is you see urethra and other. This is urinary system. And the next system, genital or reproductive system. This system provided reproduction of human species. This male reproductive system. This is female reproductive system. You see this is notice the ovary, fallopian tube, uterus. This is cervix, vagina. You see this is testis and scrotum. What do you see? Vas deferens and other prostate. prostate gland, the seminal vesicle, this is you see penis and other structure. This is genital of reproductive system, human system. Next, the cardiovascular system. Organs by means of the which a substance incorporated by the digestive and respiratory system are distributed throughout the organism, while substance which must be extracted the broad of the excretory system. This are the organs of the circulation, the heart and vessels, blood and lymph vessels. They make up the cardiovascular system. What you see, system of venous system and arterial system. This is lymph system. Nervous system, what you see, nervous system. Nervous system is main system providing the integrity of the organism and its unity with the condition of the life. It's responsible for the exchange of substance with the surrounding nature. What you see, central system, nervous system, and peripheral system. Peripheral system, nervous system, and the system of sensory organs. These organs stimulation organs perceiving stimuli from the external environment make up the system of sensory organs. You see, skin, nose, ear, tongue, eye. These many sensory. This is sensory organ. Sensory organ. Human organ. Next, endocrine apparatus. Organs of endocrine apparatus, they're responsible for the chemical connection and regulation of all processes in the organism. Not you see this pituitary gland, pineal gland, thyroid gland. This is adrenal gland. This ovary and pancreas and other. This is endocrine apparatus. Organs concerned with adaptation of the organism to the environment by means of movement form the motor apparatus. These motor apparatus include the bone system, and muscular system, and joints and ligaments. You see motor apparatus. So, in result scheme, the organism, the system of the organs, the morpho-functional unit of the organ, the tissue element. Next question, the human body. The human body is made up of the head, Latin caput, neck, Latin column. Next, trunk, Latin truncus. And the two parts of limb, Latin extremitus, and the upper and lower, Latin extremities, extremitus superioris and inferioris. Значит, head, neck, trunk, and limbs. The following parts are note in head. The forehead, Latin frons. The highest point of the skull, vertex. The back of the head, this is occiput. The temples, this is tempora. And the face, faces, face, English, faces, Latin. The trunk consists of the chest, thorax, the abdomen, English, abdomen, Latin language, and the back, dorsum. Together, this part form the trunk. From the trunk, this is chest, this is thorax, abdomen, dorsum. Thorax, abdomen, and dorsum. Together form the trunk. The following lines are drawn for orientation of the chest surface. You see, this is midline, linea mediana anterior. You see, linea mediana anterior. Next, sternal line, linea sternalis, Latin. Stretching along the sternal border, This is sternal body. Next, mammillary line. What do you see? Mammillary line. Linea mammillaris. Passing through the nipple or middle of the clavicula. And nipple. This is linea mammillaris. Next, parasternalis, linea parasternalis. Passing midway between sternal and mammillary line. Next, anterior, middle, and posterior line. The first and last line passing through the anterior and posterior fold of the axilla, respectively, and the middle line passing through the point midway between these fold. Next, the region of abdomen. The abdomen is divided by two horizontal line. One draw between the end of the tenth ribs and the other between the anterior superior iliac spines. What do you see? Into three parts. One located above another. The upper part of the abdomen epigastrium, the middle part mesogastrium, and the lower part hypogastrium. This is Latin, hypogastrium. Each of the three parts of the abdomen is subdivided by the two vertical lines into three secondary regions. 1, 2, 3. Three secondary regions. The epigastrium divided into a middle epigastric region, regio epigastrica, and two lateral region. The right and left hypochondrium. Это regiones, Latin regiones hypochondriae dextra and sinistra. The middle abdomen is divided in the same manner into medial umbilical region and regio umbilicalis Latin, and two lateral right and left lumbar region. This is Latin regionis abdominalis lateralis, dextra and sinistra. Finally, hypogastrium is divided into the pubic region, regio pubica, what you see, regia pubica, and two lateral, right and left, dextra and sinistra, inguinal region, inguinalis, regio inguinalis dextra e regio inguinalis sinistra. This is a classification of the region. You must know the region of abdomen. You must know this information for orientation in area anatomy. What you see the region of the dorsum. You see suprascapular region and region suprascapularis, region deltoideus, region scapularis, region infrascapularis, region regiovertebralis, regio cubital posterior, regio lumbalis, это Latin, this is Latin, regio lumbalis, this is regio sacralis, this is region glutealis. And next, the regions of upper limb. Upper limb. The upper limb is divided into the arm brachium, the forearm, antebrachium, and the hand, manus. Manus, the palm, palma, manus, and the back, dorsum manus, and the finger, digiti manus. What you see, this is finger, digiti manus, thumb, this what you see, index finger, what you see, dorsum manus, pollex, digitus primus, digitus secundus, digitus medius, digitus annularis, what you see English middle finger, and what ring finger, and this is digitus minimus. This is Latin and English language. Regions of the lower limb. The lower limb is divided into following part. The thigh, what can you see? Latin femur, this is femur. The leg, this crus, and the foot, pes, in which the sole, this is plantar, the dorsum of foot, dorsum pedis, and the toes at the digiti pedis. You see, digiti pedis. This is the ankle, this is tarsus. This is region of the limb. No, the tooth, this is, you see. Next, this is dorsum pedis, this is regio plantaris, this is digitus primus, digitus secundus, digitus tertis, digitus quartus, digitus minimus. You must know this name of part of toes. This is part of foot. A person beginning to study anatomy is struck first of all the copious terminology that must be firmly understood and completely mastered by the student. The terms usually designate spatial relation, the shape or size of various organs, and so forth. Is in mathematics and physical geography, certain initial point and planes are accepted from the distance and measured to establish spatial relation. In anatomy, there are generally accepted designation of perpendicular planes by means of which the position of organs or their part in space is determined exactly. There are such planes of primary importance. Sagittal plane, frontal plane, horizontal plane. This is three plane: sagittal, frontal, horizontal. The sagittal plane that passes through the middle of the body and divides it into two symmetrical. This is, you see, right and left parts is called the median plane, the sagittal plane and medial plane. A frontal plane, you see, frontal plane divides the body into the front and back, front and back part. Horizontal plane divides the body into the upper and lower halves. This is upper, this is lower. This is cranial part and caudal part. The position of the different points or lines in this plane are noted as follows. Those located nearer to the median plane are called medial. These located further from the median plane, farther from the median plane, this is longer from median plane, are noted lateral. Point and lines found on a front to back plane are noted. Those located nearer to the front surface of the body are called anterior or ventral. Those nearer to the back are known as posterior or dorsal. Nearer to the upper end of the body are called upper, superior or cranial. This is point located on the clavicle. This is medial. This is finger. This is, допустим, you see, допустим, brachium located lateral. This is medial. This is lateral. Located. This is anterior, this is anterior, this is back posterior, and other. So this is sagittal. What on this sagittal plane? Planum sagittalis. This is planum sagittalis. This is horizontal plane. This is frontal plane. Frontal plane. This is horizontal plane. This is sagittal plane. You must know these located sagittal and horizontal and frontal planes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Lection finish. Goodbye, student.